Thanks for your time this morning, Rob. Can you do me a favour and just tell me what you used to do before we had the barcoding trace it system?
Right. Before we had the barcode trace it system, we used to manually enter all invoices into Sage, which used to take around about 2.5 hours to do 100 invoices, get them printed out, ready to go.
A night?
A night.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
I was going to say.
Yeah, go.
The reason for changing was that we found that human error on entering all the codes on a 25 item order, there was always human error and errors with the amount of weights to put in.
Right.
So what we so then we decided to move on to a barcode scanning system that will produce an invoice for us.
And how many errors are you getting now?
At the moment, we're getting 1 or 2 errors.
Whereas before you were getting
10 errors.
10 errors? So we reduced it by 80-90%?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So we're now, previously it was taking, for 100 orders, 3 hours to manually rekey them in,
Yeah.
and we were getting 10 orders.
Yeah.
10 errors rather.
10 errors, yeah.
So now how long is it taking for those 100 orders to go through now?
Well, the orders are done throughout the night.
Right, so it's instantaneous?
Yeah, it's instantaneous. When the last order's manually picked and manually checked, it's scanned and straight into the system. So
right, excellent stuff. So the errors have gone down.
The errors have gone down, yeah.
And what are you doing with the extra hours that you've now got made available?
Well, what's happened is that now the night manager who was doing the manual input of invoices is now doing the scanning, which means he's on the shop floor for a lot longer time.
Right.
Which means he can spend more time checking orders and making sure they're going out properly.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
And have you had any feedback or anything from your customers?
Not as such, only on but obviously on the traceability side of things.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Because the invoice now has a traceability code on it, which you didn't used to get before.
All the products have a traceability code on.
And all the products have got it. Right, okay, fine. And obviously the number of complaints has gone down because you're not making as many errors.
Yeah. Less replacement invoices and less credit notes are going out.
Right, okay, so it's saved you time in the accounts department as well?
Yeah.
Right, okay, brilliant stuff. And in terms of training people, how long does it take to train them to use the scanner?
Not very long. So it's very easy to use, the scanning system.
Point and click?
Point and click, yeah.
Right.
Once you know the customer you're selecting the customer and scanning it through, done, processing, it's into the system.
Fantastic.
So it's not long to, the main thing is teaching them how to make sure they're checking the order before they're scanning it. As they scan it, to make sure they're checking it, to make sure there's a procedure set in place for that.
Right, so that's your business process of processing an order, and then Trace It has basically automated all of the back office invoicing and things like that.
Yeah, we still have to manually check it because of manual human error.
Right, so presumably most of your staff, what's their profile? They work overnight, don't they, most of the time?
Nights, yeah.
Okay, and a lot of people come and go, and lots of new staff.
Yeah,
things.
It's mainly the picking staff that seem to turn around. The manager, the night manager, he's been in with the company for 4 years now. So.
Fantastic. Okay, excellent stuff. And in terms of setup and things, what kind of things have we had to do in order to get the Trace It system up and running?
Well, obviously we had to try and make sure all our codes were correct.
Right, yeah, okay.
They're all matched up and they were running properly and the product description was all right.
That's right, and we got rid of some old codes which we weren't using anymore.
Yeah, weren't using,
Yeah, and we basically standardised on descriptions and things like that. And then what did we do next? We imported the data into Trace It, didn't we?
That's right, yeah.
And also at the same time, we worked with the scale manufacturers to make sure the databases on those scales were up to date, didn't we?
Yeah, and they were printing out the right database and it could read it.
Yeah, okay. And so we had the initial setup, and in terms of day-to-day maintenance and stuff like that, has that improved? Is that?
Oh yeah, it's definitely 100% improved. We had a few niggly errors first of all.
The scanners and stuff. Robust, and we haven't had any problems with those. Right, okay, fine. And in terms of the Sage system, has there been any issues with the Sage system at all?
No issues with the Sage system at all.
No system at all, right, okay. So of course, obviously, you've got some inspections coming up, and that was one of the main drivers for putting a traceability system in. So now the advantage has been within Sage, you can't put the traceability code on the invoice, whereas now using the Trace It system, the invoice physically has the trace code on it. And then you've got the inspections coming up. What are we planning on doing for those inspections?
Planning on doing a traceability from an invoice from a customer back to delivering invoice.
Delivery note, and that's what they're looking for, which is
That's
what we couldn't do
they're looking for
before.
at the moment, yeah.
Right, okay, fantastic stuff. In terms of future plans for developing the Traceit system, what plans have we got in place for that?
Future plans we've got is to itemise the beef traceability.
Itemised beef traceability, right?
To per steak rather than to delivery note.
Right, okay, so that's a business process change.
Yeah.
So basically using the Traceit system to go into more detail rather than the way we're doing it at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. How many people are using the scanners at night? I saw you had a couple there. Three.
So three at the moment because we've got a guy training on there at the moment. So 3 guys that are going to be trained on nights on how to use it.
Right, and it's multi-user, so
It's
you can use it as a
multi-user,
user.
yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, super stuff. So how's the system been over the last couple of months?
The system has been very stable.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. And good luck with using Traceit.
Yeah.
Cheers.